Hi everybody, and welcome to our Glassdoor demo day. Just to let you know that we will be starting in approximately 5 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. So thank you so much for attending today's monthly UK demonstration. It is 11 a.m. in Dublin, and today is May 11th. It is Thursday. So let's go ahead and kick things off with a question, and that's, why are we talking today? And ultimately, as the saying goes, brand or be branded. In a nutshell, there's no other place on the internet that shows both the employer and the employee perspective on why your company is an employer of choice. And I'm of the belief that the best employer brand is a combination of the employer value proposition and the employee value proposition. If you add to that your corporate and commercial brand reputation, I think you have what ultimately will encapsulate an accurate employer brand. So we're going to talk a lot more about that today, but before we get into it, let's talk about some technical tips and webinar housekeeping for you attendees out there. So before we get started, you can connect to audio using your computer's microphone and speakers. Alternatively, you may select the Use Telephone option after joining the webinar. And then all of the lines, with the exception of mine, will be muted just to avoid any background noise. That being said, if you do have any questions, you can and should share them. If you navigate to the right side of the screen, you should see a question pane. Go ahead and type them into there anytime throughout the webinar. I typically get a range of questions, and some of which I hopefully will answer as we go through. But in the interest of time, I'll answer the majority of the questions at the end during our Q&A. So finally, I also can confirm that a recording of this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel should you want to share with colleagues and or peers. And then for all of you social butterflies out there, we encourage you to get involved in the conversation, and you can use our hashtag, which is hashtag GDChat, or you can feel free to tweet us at Glassdoor UK. So I'll go ahead and introduce yourself, say I'm your featured speaker. My name is Lauren Hine, and I manage the EMEA sales development team here in Dublin. And you can see a picture so you can put a face to the name and voice. A little bit of background on me. I've been at Glassdoor just over 2 years now, and I started out as a sales development representative in our office right outside San Francisco, and now I manage the sales development team that launched in Dublin in February of last year. And then, as you can see today, I also help out our marketing team in spreading the word about Glassdoor. And then a little bit of background and insight on Glassdoor front is that we've had an incredible rate of growth, and this was fueled by the Google-led $70 million round of funding that took place at the start of 2015. And then some of you would have also seen the news of our launch in Ireland, which was in February of last year. And this also follows launches in Germany, France, Netherlands, all taking place in the past 12 months. So as you can see, we are growing rapidly, and things are definitely moving very quickly here, and it's all very exciting. So here's an agenda of what we will cover today. First, I'm going to start, and we're going to speak about today's candidates and their decision-making process. And then next, we're going to talk about your employer brand. Then we'll jump live to site and show you kind of what some of the Glassdoor solutions looks like. And then also give you some quick wins, some things you can do immediately to take away from the webinar today on Glassdoor. And then finally, as I said, we will leave the final 5 minutes or so for any questions. So the days of blindly applying for a job are long gone. This is because today's candidates treat their job search as a critical decision, one where they are relying on reviews, research, and referrals before making a decision on where they want to work. And this is because how we successfully attract talent today has changed. So if you think of a job seeker in the same way that you think of consumers today, they have more access to information than ever before, and now job seekers are carefully considering their choices. So we all go online to research before we buy. Think of the Google search, Amazon, TripAdvisor, CNET. A stat for you guys is that 81% of shoppers conduct research online before buying, and then 7 in 10 seek out reviews before purchasing. So for even relatively insignificant decisions, we do a ton of research first. When we buy something on an order offline, we're going to at least 3 different websites before purchasing. So if you sit there and you think about the kind of research we do before making an incredibly important decision, like choosing a job, obviously that research is going to look a lot more detailed and a lot more intensive. So on average, job seekers use about 18 sources and look at 7 to 8 reviews to research a company before they end up submitting an application. So job seekers today want to learn critical information about a company before applying, interviewing, or accepting an offer. And what they're looking for is a window to learn what it's really like to work for a company. They want to get a feel for the company culture, the leadership team, and career advancement opportunities before applying or accepting an offer. Similarly, consumers want to know what kind of company you are when they choose to spend money with you or invest in you. They want to understand how you treat your employees, and if you're a reputable organization, if you walk the walk and talk the talk, if these things line up. So both job seekers and consumers are consulting a variety of sources that provide context to the search. So you think of things out like Twitter, we have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and obviously sites like Glassdoor. So you need to be involved in these conversations going on where job seekers are looking and consuming information about your company and about your brand. So because there is a wealth of information on the internet, job boards and professional networks, social media, candidates end up having very high expectations. Job seekers want way more information than just the job description. So we ran a Glassdoor survey in 2014 to understand the top 5 things that job seekers want to know when they're doing the research. And they were, first thing was what makes it an attractive place to work. Second was compensation. Third was benefits. Fourth was mission, vision, and values. And then 5 was just like the basic company information. And what they're wanting is not just to hear the company's perspective, but they want to hear everyone's perspective. And a stat from a 2015 Edelman Global Trust Survey said that although friends and family are still the most trusted at 72%, content provided by employees is the number 2 most trusted source of information on a company. So these job seekers, they don't demand perfection, but they do expect a level of transparency and authenticity from employers. And another Glassdoor survey is that 90% of job seekers say they would want to work, 90% said they would want to work for a company that embraces transparency. So as you can see, it is definitely very important. So we all know that where you work is one of the most important decisions you'll make in your life, and your candidates feel the exact same way. And with that in mind, the way candidates search for jobs today has changed, which we've already kind of dug into. But I think these stats here really do support that. So 82% of recruiters describe today's talent market as candidate-driven. Then 75% turn to peers before making their own decisions about a brand. And on top of that, candidates are typically become weary of employer messages, and they find that the employees themselves are 3 times more credible than the CEO when they're talking about the insights and insides of working within a company. So the reality is that people want and now actually expect transparency in the job search and in the workplace. So every day we're making better and more informed decisions based on reviews, and this is because often in the past our expectations just didn't match the reality. And so as consumers, we turn to each other on sites like Amazon, Yelp, Zupa, Expedia, and TripAdvisor to make more informed decisions about product purchases, where to eat, property, our next holiday. So now, with Glassdoor, we're applying that same idea to employment, and we're helping people make decisions through the power of information transparency. and we're passionate about it. Glassdoor's mission is to help people everywhere find a job and a company that they love. So we're going to go ahead and walk through a typical candidate decision-making process. And what we'll do is kind of highlight at every step where Glassdoor is influencing your candidates. At the top right, at the first to the far left right here, you'll see the awareness. And this is where the majority of employers like you invest in channels like LinkedIn, Indeed, and staffing firms. Glassdoor provides job advertising to increase candidate flow in this area. So once a candidate is made aware of your job, the next question is, okay, do I actually want to work for this employer? And this is where Glassdoor's unique business value starts for the employer. Glassdoor is the only vendor that is able to influence a candidate at every step as they consider you as their employer of choice. So Glassdoor does this through infusing employee reviews, interviews, salaries, benefits, and ratings with your unique employer brand so that the candidate can make a smarter and more informed decision. And Glassdoor is growing. As you can see here, we have over 13 million reviews with over 700,000 plus companies on Glassdoor as it stands today. And what we found from a survey is that in January of 2016 was that the majority of Glassdoor users are job seekers at 89%, and they're actively looking for a new job, or they would be open to a better opportunity if it presented themselves. So, fun little stat for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into what I think is probably one of the more important questions is, what exactly is an employer brand? I've kind of used that a lot, employer brand, EVP, employee value proposition. These are all kind of these fun buzzwords. But okay, now you want to know, what exactly does this look like? And I'm going to go ahead and borrow a great quote from the founder and CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Jeff says that your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. And the room today is very much the internet and social media. And then for the purpose of today's conversation, that room is going to be Glassdoor. And ultimately, if you're not online telling your story, someone else will do it for you. So for you as an employer, and you're sitting there right now kind of thinking what your employer brand is, these are some questions you can ask yourself. So first would be, would your current employees recommend your company to a friend? What are employees and job seekers like saying about you on social media? And then what is your company rating on Glassdoor? So the reality is that 69% of workers surveyed would not take a job with a company that had a bad reputation, and that's even if they were unemployed. Moreover, 84% would consider leaving their current job if offered another role with a company that had an excellent corporate reputation. And the reality of these statistics are that job applicants have access to more information about potential employers than ever before. So candidates can now weigh their options, comparing benefits and salary, and decide which opportunity and employer are right for them. And it really is as much about the candidate interviewing you nowadays as you are then. So now, when top talent comes in for an interview, you can think about why this company is the best fit for them. Maybe you can do some research on Glassdoor on the company they came from and let them know how your company is better in those areas or stronger in those areas. So now that I've told you a little bit more about your employer brand, why it's important, and how the market has changed, I want to tell you a little bit about Glassdoor Solutions and what we offer to you as employers. So our product line has three main components, and we definitely don't have a one-size-fits-all approach. We create tailored solutions based on each individual company's needs. So having said that, the fastest-growing component is job advertisements, and this is going to target our high-quality, well-researched candidates based on search behavior and profile information. And then next is our display advertising. The purpose of display advertising is really to help you build brand awareness and influence job seekers throughout the site. And then our enhanced profile. This helps companies influence job seekers and essentially tell their story. So give that 360 view of what it's actually like to work there. When I jump live to site, I'll actually just show you really what the differentiators are between what we call our free employer account and then the enhanced solutions. So lastly, and what I think is one of the more important features too, is the analytics. So what Glassdoor, this is a screen grab from inside somebody's employer center, and what we're able to do here is track overall brand awareness, analyze employee sentiment, and benchmark your company against competitors. And that's just a brief look into what we do. We can do a lot more with these analytics, but that is definitely kind of a great informational starting point. So let's go ahead and jump live to site. And what I want to do now is walk you through an enhanced profile versus a free profile. So I'm going to share my screen, and I hope it works. Okay. Sorry, give me a sec. We just got new webinar software, and it's a little bit, I'm still working out the kinks. Sorry, give me a second, and I'll get you there. All right, sorry, bear with me here. It's coming up, and this is my fault. I should have installed it beforehand, and right now that's what's happening. So give me 2 minutes. Thank you for your patience. All right, we're almost there. You've got a minute or two if you want to, stand up, stretch a bit, take a few deep breaths while we're waiting for this to update. And I apologize I didn't have this done in advance, but if you give me a sec, I will. Okay, well, I guess I'm a liar because it's not working, so, and this is my fault for not working out this technical glitch beforehand. But really quickly, I will run you through kind of what some of the differentiators between our free and paid solutions look like. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to send out a webinar for you guys to look at where you can actually see the live site demo, and apologies for this. So really quickly, even if you want to pull this up with me, Arm Holdings is one of our partners who allows us to use their Glassdoor page, but really kind of the biggest things with an enhanced profile is that companies are allowed to have a fully branded page. So they get a cover photo and they can link that to a video. I'm going to use Arm Holdings. They've highlighted that they are one of Glassdoor's best places to work, and they highlight that award on there. And then if you scroll down Arm Holdings page, on the right-hand side, you can see they're advertising all of their own open positions. And then if we continue to go down, they have a video and the Why Work For Us section. So what we do is we allow companies to choose 3 to 5 areas that they really would like to highlight about why it's great to work for their company, and use those tabs to showcase to job seekers to get some insight from the company themselves of what it's like to work there. So for them, they've highlighted their culture, their impact, early careers, students, and benefits. And then when you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, that's where you see the content and the reviews. And so really the biggest things here is that partnered companies have full access to advertise on the entirety of the page and own all that information on there, so that when job seekers come to your page, they're not being distracted by alternate companies. They're only seeing your branding. They're only seeing your open positions. So something that you can do right now as a company, and I'm going to do it with you, is go and type into a Google bar working at whatever your company is called. I'm going to say working at Smith. I'm using that as an example, but go into Google and see what comes up. For me, the first one that comes up is Glassdoor. So if a job seeker does that, the first thing they're going to see is your company. So go ahead and open up a bar, put in a Google search, and see what comes up when you put working at and put your company name. If you click into your company page, if you're not an existing partner with us, what you'll see is what we call a free employer account. You'll see on the right-hand side, it'll say, is this your company? And it'll have a little red dot. That means that no one within your company is managing this page yet. So, and if you scroll down throughout the page, you see that other companies have the ability to advertise. So right now, I'm being targeted for sales jobs in Dublin because I'm in sales and I work in Dublin, and I'm being targeted by other companies. When I scroll down, the first things that I see are the reviews. So really no messaging from the employer themselves. This is all content from previous and current employees on the page. So take a moment at some point today or right now and Google yourself, see what comes up and how candidates are consuming your information. So at this point, I want to go ahead and kind of give you guys some key takeaways and things that you can do today with this free employer account. So the main things that you can do here are, first, you can update your company information. So make sure that the company overview is accurate and up to date. Secondly, you do have access to a portion of analytics, so you can see a little bit of the demographics and the types of people coming to your page. Then third, you have the ability to post some photos. So you can, if you have a company outing or pictures of your office or things that you want to share, you can add those on your page. And then lastly, most importantly, you have the ability to respond to reviews. So once you gain administrative access to the account, you can go ahead and start responding. So to reiterate, if you take away one thing from today's webinar, it's claim your free employer account and get involved in the conversation that's happening on Glassdoor. As you can see from this slide, we have plenty of additional free resources available once you log into your account, as you can see here. You'll find everything from webinars on demand to free ebooks and guides. And what we're trying to do really is to create a portal that employers could use as a place for thought leadership. So I definitely encourage you to go there and kind of click around and look at some of the information that we have. Again, once you've claimed the free employer account, please update your company information, make sure that is accurate. Secondly, add some photos, pep up the page a little bit, make sure your logo is up to date. Then go into your employer center, look at the demographics, see the types of candidates that are visiting your page today, and then finally, respond to reviews. We definitely recommend having a conversation with your internal leadership team and discussing how you would like to respond, and then from there, responding to both negative and positive. So claim your free employer account. I hope I've really driven that home. So in conclusion, Glassdoor helps you brand, influence, and hire. And we want to help you amplify and communicate your employer brand and EVP and ultimately hire and influence quality candidates. Today we specifically talked about the enhanced profile and the job solution, and that's going to help you overcome your challenges and accomplish your goals. So again, claim the free employer account so you can access some of the data I highlighted. And then should you require a more bespoke demonstration, please feel free to reach out to me, and I am happy to set you up with the right person. And I don't think it's on the screen. It might be on the next one. There we go. Well, at this point, if you have any questions, please type them in. But also, you can see my email address on the bottom of this slide, lauren.hein@glassdoor.com. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any further questions. And then you can expect an email from us within 24 hours. And I could also confirm that a recording of this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel. And what I'll probably do is send out maybe my recording from last month where I did the live to site demo so that you guys can kind of get that portion that wasn't accessible today. And then, so if you have any questions, now is a good time. I'm going to go ahead and see what questions have been asked and start answering them. But for those of you leaving the call now, thank you so much for joining and enjoy the rest of your day. Otherwise, if you stick around, I'll go ahead and start answering questions. So the first question is, also I saw some people saying that they got bad audio, and I heard that, and hopefully we fixed it and it wasn't bad throughout. So one question is, how do we create a company profile? Great, that's a good question. So if you don't already have an existing profile on Glassdoor, a profile is created by someone creating a piece of content. So if there is nothing on Glassdoor, if I as an employee go on and write, this is what it's like to work at X company, and I contribute to the content, that right there creates the page. So if you don't have a company page, you want to start one, go ahead and go on and contribute a piece of content, and that will create the page. And that also gives you access to all of Glassdoor's information. So we have a give forget model. Once you go on and give a piece of content, you'll have access to reviews and company information all across Glassdoor. So next one is, I'm glad somebody went and made a cup of tea during our little technical glitch, and I'm really glad that happened. Making best use of the time. Someone asked if I can provide the estimate prices for enhanced profile, and as I said, we really don't have a one-size-fits-all approach. It's really bespoke, and it's based on a number of things, like company size, what pairings you're liking to do if you want jobs and branding, just branding. So we really don't have a one-size-fits-all approach, but what I suggest is if you're wanting some price estimates, sync up with me afterwards, and I'll set you up with your account manager, and what they can do is kind of go through a demo with you and then give you bespoke pricing based on that conversation. Great, and then I'll go ahead and take one more, because I know we're coming to the end of our time, and that is, should we respond to reviews? And I did kind of go over this, or like, is it best practice to respond to reviews? I kind of mentioned this in the webinar, but we highly, highly recommend responding to reviews. I know for Glassdoor personally, we have our own Glassdoor page, and that our CEO, our VP of Marketing, our head of HR all respond to reviews within their departments, whether they're good or bad. And what Glassdoor found is that candidates are 60% more likely to want to apply for a job, even if a company has bad reviews, if they see that the leadership team is responding and actively involved in that conversation with those reviews. So I do think it is really important, and that it shouldn't be taken lightly. Having said that, have a conversation internally before you go ahead and just go on and start responding. So great, it looks like I'm just at time. And if I didn't answer your question, you have any follow-ups, again, please reach out to me. Otherwise, thank you for bearing with me today and getting through our little technical difficulties. And as promised, I will send out a recap afterwards. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.